Well, since the day I started, I thought I'm going to be out of business any day.
Nearly 40 years after Jane Rosenberg sold her first courtroom sketch to NBC,
I went home and watched my little black and white TV. I called my parents, I'm on TV. It was pretty exciting.
We found her downtown at the federal courthouse waiting to draw sentencing.
I'm past retirement age, but I'll keep going as long as I can.
In a building now displaying more than 70 of her sketches from the last 4 decades in its marbled lobby.
Some of my old stuff's better, and some of it's worse.
But before she drew Don King or John Gotti, Giuliani or Madoff, Jane was a little girl growing up in Brooklyn.
My mother said I drew my first portrait at age 3.
Jane majored in art in college, then spent years drawing portraits on the street before attending a talk by a courtroom artist at the Society of Illustrators.
I saw this lecture and I thought, I'd love to do that, but it looks so hard.
So Jane started practicing.
There were a lot of prostitutes at night court, and I sketched them.
She built a portfolio and in 1980 sold that first of her now thousands of courtroom sketches.
I have most of them in my apartment, stacked to the ceilings.
Our most interesting way of preserving what goes on in the courtroom.
In her 43 years in and out of courtrooms, Southern District of New York Chief Judge Colleen McMahon's appeared in many sketches.
I have loved some of them. There are 1 or 2 that I look at and I say, huh?
I'm hoping to get as much as realism as I can. If I had all day, I would be perfectly real.
Everybody always has me with earrings, and you can always tell it's me, if for no other reason, from the curly red hair.
Judicial Conference of the United States policy mandates no cameras in court. As a large body of evidence suggests, cameras can intimidate some witnesses and jurors, leaving the individual freeze frames chosen and captured by Jane and her colleagues as the lone visuals from often many hours of courtroom proceedings.
That gives you the gestalt, that gives you the overall sense of what it was that was going on in the courtroom.
I could be working all day on some sketch and then suddenly somebody will start crying and there goes I wasted that the whole time.
I'm sometimes surprised by what it is that intrigues them.
In more recent years, Jane's found herself surprised by the amount of feedback her drawings have received.
Well, nowadays, we're living in the social media world. I'm sure I know where you're going to go next.
In August of 2015, Patriots quarterback Tom Brady appeared in federal court for a hearing on his role in deflating footballs before a playoff game. Jane drew Brady, and social media savaged her depiction of the 3-time NFL MVP and many-time Super Bowl champ, turning it into a meme that never went away.
I didn't used to get this much feedback, but I don't want to know about it anymore.
But Jane does want to keep working.
Until I can't anymore, or I'm kicked out.
She now calls herself a news junkie, likely understands the inner workings of a courthouse as well as any litigator.
I didn't even know what arraignment was back then.
Married a lawyer she met on the job.
He claims I sketched him.
And continues to thrive on ever-tightening deadlines with the same handmade pastel box.
It's now held together with gaffer's tape.
In a profession in which few others have been able to survive.
In New York City, there's 5 maybe.
The federal court system constantly reviews its no cameras policy, and in this digital visual now age, Jane expects this career she chose to soon no longer exist, as she has since she started sketching judges, defendants, plaintiffs, and attorneys many decades ago.
It's not a great field to go into because it's probably going to disappear. But then I've been saying it for 40 years, so who knows?
I hope we never lose the court artists. The work they do is so extraordinary and so unique, so much a part of the history of jurisprudence in the United States.
I don't know if I ever felt like I was performing a civic duty. I'm still an artist. I can't believe I'm still surviving as one, but I am.
In Lower Manhattan, I'm Matt King, Fox 5 News.